Hello everyone, from Tony, the Scarlet Ghost, here from Shenzhen, China. A couple of days ago, I had the exclusive opportunity of trying the Huawei AI glasses, the camera-powered smart glasses just launched by Huawei a few weeks ago. I say this exclusive opportunity not because it's exclusive in general. You can try them in every Huawei store in China, or at least the most important of them. But that's the thing. They are sold only in China. You can try them only in China. So I guess I'm one of the few Westerners that have tried it until now. And I think the test has been pretty interesting. So let me show you the features about these glasses. But before doing that, let me just say thank you to Dr.Liu and Timothy too from the WAEA, which is Association about Smart Glasses here in Shenzhen. Let me do this test inside a Huawei store. Enough talking, let me show you the glasses. So these are the Huawei AI glasses. You can see they feature a camera, a privacy LED, and then pretty solid materials to make the frames and the lenses. There is a button to take photos and videos, and another one to invoke the live AI. You can see they are pretty good looking, but still they are not made with an eyewear company, so they retain a bit of nerdy look. And they look very solid, very well made, but they don't really shoot my face. I would think I don't look super beautiful with them. They fit much more my friend Tim, so probably they'll be made for Asian faces. They are very lightweight. They don't have a display, so they can be very lightweight and weigh just 470 grams, including the lenses. And the battery is also lasting up to 12 hours. They're really made for all day usage. So these glasses have no display, so I cannot evaluate the visuals, but I can evaluate very well the audio. It has integrated speakers and integrated microphone. So Huawei advertises a lot of features about these microphones, that they can also hear you in noisy environments, and even if you speak a bit not so loud. But I haven't had occasion to test it, but I just can say that every time I use the microphone, the system could understand me. Regarding the audio instead, I could listen to some music, and the audio was actually very crisp. An interesting thing is that Huawei advertises that the audio is mostly directed towards the user and a bit removes the leak of the sound outside. So I would say this feature kind of worked, because when I tried to record a video, putting the phone close to my ear to make you hear what I was hearing, the audio is actually pretty low, as you can hear in this short video. These glasses have cameras, so the first use case is shooting photos and videos using this button on the right. And the quality of the video is up to a bit more than full HD, and the photos are 4K, because the camera is 12 megapixel camera. I try to shoot a few photos and videos, and the quality is pretty good. There is a nice feature that these photos and videos can be transferred automatically to the phone without waiting for any confirmation. This is very, very handy. Huawei also advertises some special features like stabilization of videos and photos, but I didn't have the occasion to try them. But for standard photos, etc., I could see that they're working pretty well. Huawei has an AI called Xiaoyi, and you can invoke Xiaoyi by pressing the button on the left side of the glasses and start basically a session, an AI session. You don't have to repeat every time Xiaoyi, Xiaoyi. You just ask questions, but you have to ask them either in Chinese or English, but it answers only in Chinese, and that's a bit of a problem. So you can look at something and say, what is it? You can say where I am, how I can fix this, and it will try to infer information from your live feed and use the AI to give you suggestions, for instance. There is a nice thing that you can check on the companion app and see what you are seeing with the glasses and the transcription of your conversation with the Xiaoyi assistant, which is good also as an accessibility feature. My tests with Xiaoyi were limited to a few questions, and for my little test it was working. So I cannot report about very complicated usage. For standard one, the assistant was working pretty well. Now let's get back to another use case which is popular with smart glasses, which is translation. I was able to have a conversation both in Chinese and English with Dr. Liu, and also with Chinese and Italian, which tried both of them. And I will show you a little video in a while. Basically, the system works. He was speaking Chinese, and after a while, I could start hearing what he was saying in English. Remember that there is no display, so the translation is fully in audio. There have been some interaction quirks regarding their translation, but mostly it was working well. The translation in Italian is a bit lower quality than an English one. This is pretty standard. It happens also with Google Translate, to make an example. So the translation use case was pretty okay. The only thing that a bit triggers me is this delay, because when the other person finishes speaking, you're still listening to what he said, which a bit kills the flow of the conversation, but it was pretty good. Let me show you just a quick excerpt of our conversation in Chinese and Italian.
张理，今天来到华为体验中心，体验了华为的 AI 眼镜，你有什么想要说的吗？
È stata un'esperienza interessante, anche perché in Italia non li potevo provare. There is a companion app like on the other smart glasses on the market. Basically, all these companion apps look the same. You can select which app to run. You can select, you see the status of the glasses. You can pair the glasses with your phone, and you can also change the settings of the glasses. This is very handy. There are also some apps I wasn't able to try, like for instance the Alipay to pay with QR codes, which is very useful in China. You can control the music, you can play the music, etc., etc., etc. This is standard with all the smart glasses. If you don't want to take out the phone from your pocket, you can still have some interactions just on the glasses by swiping on the temples or tapping. Swiping is useful when you listen to music and you want to, for instance, to change the volume, while tapping is useful to take calls, or stop the music, play the music. Basically, also this is pretty standard. For my tests, it was working. Let's say nothing very weird to report about it. I could control the glasses very well with the right frame. One little curiosity is that these smart glasses are actually dust-proof and water resistant. Of course, they're not water resistant. You can put them inside the water, but like they resist to, I guess, a bit of rain, some sweat, and maybe some dust that is around you. Maybe you are outdoors in a dirty environment, let's say. This is pretty good. So they thought about the durability since they're made again for all the usage. I couldn't try this one, as you can imagine. No one started throwing dust and water at me. So I trust it works, hopefully. But we'll see. Maybe someone will make the test. I'll wait probably for Robert Scoble to make another photo inside his shower while wearing the Huawei glasses. Who knows? So what about price and availability? These glasses are available in Huawei stores and the Huawei website here in China, where price starts for 2,500 RMB, which equates more or less to 370 US dollars. So you've seen it all. So you may wonder, what are my final impressions about this device? Well, I have good impression about these glasses by Huawei. So they're made in solid materials. They make good photos and videos. The audio is pretty crisp, doesn't leak much outside, which is pretty cool. The AI system does its job. In general, also, they are pretty comfortable, even if I couldn't try them for many hours. I could say they are very lightweight. So there are a lot of problems with these glasses. There are a few things that I didn't like the look, let's say, the design. I think doesn't fit very well my face, but I mean, this is a very subjective thing. I think shouldn't affect the general opinion about glasses. And the other thing is they don't have a display. Personally, I'm a fan of glasses with display. I like to see things with my eyes. But I can understand the compromise, because I know if you add both the camera and the screen, the glasses become heavier, consume more of the battery, and so you lose many of the strong points of these glasses. But probably the thing that triggers me a bit the most about these glasses is the fact they are very similar to many other smart glasses I tried during this trip. There are some things which are above the others, like the battery duration, but more or less they have similar features about taking photos, translation, etc. The interface is similar. Many things look similar. And here we're talking about Huawei. Huawei is one of the most important companies making phones here, if not the most important one. And probably I expect a bit more from Huawei, to be honest. So I see this as a very good, let's say, first step in the AI glasses market. But I hope that first steps will be the place where Huawei really brings all its power in and creates something that stands above the competition. Let's see if this is going to happen. In any case, if you're interested in buying them and you're in China, go to our Huawei website and buy them. I thank you for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this video. For every question about Huawei glasses, let me know in the description here below and the comments here below, not the description. Anyway, I hope you have a great day in VR and thank you again. Bye bye.